Welcome to Star Watch Now, your front row seat to all the hottest gossip, drama, and breaking news from the world of entertainment. If it's trending, shocking, or star-studded, we're covering it. Stay tuned. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Under the blazing August sun, the engines roared, the tires screamed. And then, as the helmet came off, a single smile stopped time. Wang Yibo, with his effortlessly iconic hairstyle and a spark in his eyes, turned an ordinary closed training session into a moment fans around the world will never forget. The afternoon sun hung low over the Shanghai International Circuit, casting a golden haze across the quiet expanse of asphalt. There was no roar of a crowd, no blinding flashes from press cameras, only the muted hum of distant engines and the rhythmic crunch of footsteps on the pit lane. It was a rare, almost sacred kind of stillness, the kind that exists only in the moments before something extraordinary. Wang Yibo stood at the edge of the track, the air around him heavy with the faint scent of gasoline and warm rubber, his focus unbroken. This was his domain for the day, stripped of distractions, stripped of spectacle. Just man, machine, and the pursuit of precision. His hair, the unmistakable black center-parted style that fans around the globe have come to recognize instantly, fell in gentle, deliberate waves, catching the light with each movement. The ends brushed against his nape, framing a face that carried both the ease of youth and the steel of determination. There was an unspoken energy in his stance, a subtle interplay between the calmness of an artist and the readiness of an athlete about to launch into battle. Every blink, every shift in posture, seemed measured, as though part of an inner rhythm only he could hear. Around him, the circuit stretched out in curves and straights like a challenge waiting to be met. The air shimmered faintly with heat, blurring the distant edges of the track, while the painted lines on the tarmac stood out stark and precise, a silent reminder of the discipline required to master this place. Yibo's gaze followed the track's winding path as though memorizing every corner, every potential point of acceleration, every place where a fraction of a second could be won or lost. In the absence of spectators, the environment took on an intimate, almost cinematic quality. The wind stirred softly, lifting the edges of his racing suit as he adjusted his gloves, his movements deliberate but unhurried. It was in this stripped-back arena that the layers of celebrity fell away, revealing the pure, unfiltered truth of why he was here. Not for applause, not for photographs, but for the deep, private satisfaction of mastering his craft. The circuit wasn't just a place to race. It was a mirror, reflecting both his skill and his relentless drive to improve. And in that quiet, sunlit moment, it was clear that the track was ready for him, and more importantly, he was ready for it. The moment Wang Yibo slipped behind the wheel, the quiet of the circuit transformed into something alive. The blue race car, sleek, aerodynamic, a machine built for speed, seemed to respond to him even before the engine roared to life. With a quick glance at the track ahead and a firm grip on the steering wheel, he accelerated down the straight, the sound of the engine breaking the stillness like a declaration. Every movement he made was precise yet instinctive, the product of countless hours spent learning to understand not just the mechanics of the car, but its personality. The tires gripped the asphalt as he leaned into the first curve, his body moving in perfect sync with the machine, the line he traced through the corner as clean and smooth as if it had been drawn with a single stroke. Lap after lap, his rhythm sharpened. On the straights, he pushed the car to its limits, feeling the surge of power beneath him, testing how far he could go before the point of hesitation. In the turns, his eyes stayed locked on the exit, every shift in gear timed to preserve momentum without sacrificing control. It wasn't reckless speed, it was calculated precision, a harmony of man and machine in pursuit of perfection. Between runs, he made quiet adjustments, fine-tuning the car's settings, noting the subtleties in steering feedback, the way the suspension responded to uneven patches of track. To an outsider, it might look like routine practice, but to him, every detail mattered. The blue paint caught the sunlight as he raced past, flashing like a streak of lightning against the muted tones of the circuit. The scent of heated rubber mixed with the faint tang of fuel in the air, each lap leaving behind a trail of energy that lingered long after he passed. His focus never wavered. Even when the car slowed, his mind was still in motion, replaying the last turn, analyzing the smallest fractions of time gained or lost. For Yibo, this was more than training. It was a conversation with the track, an exchange of challenges and answers. Each lap asked a question. Can you go faster? Can you go cleaner? Can you be better than you were before? And each time he crossed the start line again, the answer was yes. In that relentless pursuit, every heartbeat, every shift of the wheel, was a step closer to the race he was born to run. Every lap he completed on the empty circuit was more than a rehearsal. It was an investment in the moment that lay ahead. The Shanghai Grand Prix was now etched in his mind like a fixed point on the horizon, drawing him closer with each day. It was not just another race on the calendar. It was the kind of stage where reputations are made and careers can shift forever. For Wang Yibo, this was an opportunity to prove that his passion for racing was not a fleeting interest, but a disciplined pursuit worthy of respect from even the most seasoned professionals. The preparation was relentless, extending far beyond the hours spent on the track. In the evenings, when the sun had dipped and the engines had fallen silent, he would review data from the day's runs, studying the subtleties in his performance. The exact moment he braked before a corner, the fraction of a second gained on a straight, the way the car's balance shifted under acceleration. These were not abstract numbers. They were the fingerprints of progress, proof that each session was sharpening his edge. Off the asphalt, his focus never wavered. He refined his physical conditioning, understanding that every muscle needed to respond instantly in the cockpit. He worked on mental endurance, rehearsing race day scenarios in his mind, how to react if the track was slick with rain, how to respond if an opponent tried to force him wide, how to keep composure if the stakes rose in the final laps. In these private moments of discipline, he was already living the race before it began. The Shanghai Grand Prix was not only about competing against others. It was about challenging the version of himself that existed yesterday. That thought gave him both calm and fire. There was a quiet pride in knowing that fans from across continents, from Seoul to Sydney, Tokyo to Toronto, were anticipating his performance. But he carried that anticipation as motivation, not pressure. In his mind, race day was already here. The lights on the starting grid, the surge of adrenaline as the flag drops, the knowledge that every decision, every heartbeat, will define the outcome. He knew that the roar of the crowd would fade the moment he crossed the first corner. From that point on, it would be just as it was now, man, machine, and the pursuit of the perfect lap. But there's more to the story. Between laps, Yibo wasn't just resting, he was creating. Armed with his Leica M9, he captured candid moments. The shimmer of heat waves rising off the asphalt, the glint of sunlight bouncing off his car's curves, and even the subtle dance of shadows across his racing gloves. For the first time, he also experimented with a small drone camera, personally piloting it to film his own track runs, hinting at a possible behind-the-scenes project for fans. Perhaps the most heartwarming scene came at the very end. Leaning casually against the car, Yibo shared a light-hearted exchange with his team, laughter echoing through the empty stands. In that instant, he was not just a racer or a superstar. He was a man living fully in his passion, grounded yet unstoppable. Closing feel. As the sun dipped below the circuit, Wang Yibo's radiant smile lingered in the minds of everyone who caught a glimpse. It wasn't just about the hair, the car, or even the race. It was about the rare magic of someone chasing their dream at full speed. If you've enjoyed this behind-the-scenes look at Wang Yibo's journey, make sure to subscribe to Update X24H, where we bring you the most inspiring, exciting, and exclusive moments from the world of entertainment and beyond. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to stay tuned for our next update. The story isn't over yet.